Hi guys, we are live now. Can you guys see me and hear me clearly? Just let me know in the chat box. We are going to soon start with this session, and I'm sure it'll. This session is going to help all the aspirants who are preparing for the NLSAT examination. So make sure that I'm audible, clear, and let me also know the same so that I can begin with this session. We are going to discuss the whole strategy, what are the questions that have been asked in the past, and how to go about this examination. I understand there are certain students who were also asking about form filling, whether Ganesh Patil has confirmed loud and clear. Excellent, we are good to go. Shreya has also confirmed. All right, guys. So you must have noted that in the FAQ section they've provided, because I'm bringing this up first so that people who have this issue with form filling, that can be addressed. There were certain students who were asking for bona fide certificate. So here, if you'll see, they've clearly said that if you don't have a bona fide certificate, you can upload your ID card of your college. So that's completely fine. They're going to accept it. Plus, if you're in the your final year of your examination, that is also okay. You have to furnish your results by 31st of December. So I don't think there should be much ado about those things, and it should be clear to all of you. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to start with understanding that how are we supposed to exactly go for this examination. We all know 17th March is the date when this examination is going to get conducted. So we have to be prepared for that day. Now, let us look at the timeline we have in hand. We have approximately 2 months in hand. So, first of all, guys, do not fear that there are only 2 months left for the examination. This is one examination for which you can prepare even in 1 month, is what I feel. How I'm going to discuss very soon, but uh, keep that fear away in your head that it cannot be done. It can very much be done. Now, see, firstly, I would want you guys to understand that as per their pattern, which is available on their website, it can be clearly seen. And if you will see the past year question papers also, that there is no rote learning that is required for this examination. You don't need to mug up things except current affairs, right? So, mostly students fear about the timing when there is less time to learn a lot of things. Here we just have to learn current affairs. For that, 2 months we have, and it is fine. That can be done. What I would do is that students, you can start with critical reasoning, because this particular thing is the basis of this examination. This can tackle your English section also, because if you're good at critical reasoning, then English is already taken care of, right? Then for your part B, at both the places, in case study section as well as your analytical reasoning essay, your reasoning skills will be checked. So you have to be very good at critical reasoning. Now I'll slowly explain to you that how you can be good at it, how to work upon it. Critical reasoning is basically the art of understanding when any situation, any statement, any facts, all these things are given, and you're asked to give your analysis of the whole situation, whatever is given to you. Your understanding is judged. That is your critical reasoning. So you will start with critical reasoning so that these parts also get tackled with. Slowly we are going to further discuss that how are we supposed to cover each and every part. I'm going to discuss all of them. So be patient with that. Now, first, then after finding out that okay, I have to start with critical reasoning, this is the pattern. I hope you guys have had a look at the past year papers. So if you do not have past year papers, I think you might find it on Google. Otherwise, we've given it in our module. Also, in our YouTube videos, I've discussed the past year papers in detail. I've discussed the solutions as well. So you can check those videos, right? Which will help you understand the past year papers. And Further, after your past year papers, watch this video wherein I have given an analysis on this past year papers, wherein I have given what are the topics that will be asked, plus how many questions for each topic that have been asked in the past. So इससे you will have an idea, you will get to know कैसे questions आते हैं, what kind of questions are asked, and how many questions of that kind are asked. This thing you have to be clear with. So past year question papers you will see, and you will see the analysis videos, right? Then moving forward, you will finalize, okay, English, critical reasoning, part B, where all I have to cover this from. I'm going to tell you some sources ahead in the video, and you can choose whatever you like. Then part B, answer writing is to be done every day, because the more you do answer writing, the more you do case studies, you write essays, the better it is. And you will also see that, if you are into this practice of writing daily, your own writing skills will improve with time. It is not that we are short on time, there are 2 months, so we have approximately 60 days in hand, and you can do this in 60 days, believe me. And yes, you have to keep some time for mocks. Now when I say mocks will include your part A, part B both. You have to practice both the areas. There are many mocks available. We are also providing our mocks on our website www.lawdigest.in. If you haven't been able to check the same, you can, so that you are able to practice things well. Then moving forward, how to go ahead with critical reasoning, because critical reasoning is the most critical part of this examination. Now, what I've done is I have reproduced the from my analysis video the topics wherein the question have been asked from. I'll address to your queries that are coming in the comment box in some time. Let me just brief you guys out on the things that I've decided to tell you. Right. So for critical reasoning, what kind of questions have been asked? Legal reasoning questions have been there, wherein you have a factual situation that is given to you, and some law is given, or hypothetical situation based on a hypothetical law is given, and you are required to give a conclusion on this. So legal reasoning questions will be there. Then the questions asking you that which of the following the author is most likely to disagree with, or which of the following contradicts the statement of the author, and one statement is reproduced, and you have to see that which statement goes against this. You, in the options that will be given, you have to choose one. Then there will be strengthening weakness, weaken questions, wherein statement will be given, and you will be asked with the options that which of the following option can strengthen or weaken the statement of the author given as whatever statement is given. Right? I'm sure you must be finding such questions in the mocks as well. So take these mocks very seriously that you're giving. Then conclusion assumption questions, that they'll ask you what is the best fitted conclusion for the passage, or they'll ask you that they'll give you a conclusion that suppose this is a conclusion, what is the assumption that it is based on. Such questions can be asked. Or they can ask you what can be the likely outcome of this scenario, uh, or presenting a factual situation to you, that if this and this happens, what can be the likely outcome as per the passage, or which of the following is likely to be true considering the information given in the passage. So then you have to make a choice, right? Uh, okay somebody has asked for zooming out a little. Now I have done. I hope it's better. The zoom out screen is better and you're able to view things. Now moving ahead, how to go about this critical reasoning. First, understand the tone of the author. So, whatever we are looking at, you have to see that whether, the author, whatever he's trying to say, first of all, everybody has their own preconceived notions, and they might not match with the ones. The view given by the author might not match with the view that you have. So for that timing, you have to keep your view aside Listen to the author patiently. So you have to be a good listener, understand the tone, understand what the author is trying to say, understand what his point of view is, even though it's contrary to your own view, right? Apart from the tone, you have to understand many things, like, what are the main arguments, which side is the author going towards. If he's speaking on a topic, then is he moving pro or against the topic? That you have to figure out. While reading only, you will get to know these things, and these things will be very important for your questions. So while reading the passage, you have to be very, very attentive in order to understand the whole picture that is there in the head of the author, so that you're able to catch on to the questions well, right? Now for this, I would say what you can do is, for sources you can check GMAT books, Pearson की book आती है. Then you can also check the critical reasoning videos. If you find it on YouTube, you can check those. For students who are enrolled for the NLSAT module, you are required to go very well thoroughly with these critical reasoning lessons that they are given here, 15 lessons. You have to go through these videos to understand. So here you will see that we have explained to you a lot of things, that uh, how do you analyze what is give a statement is given, and you're told that, how can you come to an understanding from this particular statement, that what is the assumption behind it, how to derive those assumptions, how to derive inferences, conclusions, statements. All these things are given to you. What will be the course of action? These lessons are already given in the module, right? Then editorials are very important, I would say. So even if you nobody all right. Yeah. So even if you guys are not enrolled for the module, then what you can do is, in the editorial section of any newspaper, be it Hindu, be it Indian Express, pick any newspaper, go to the editorial section and read out each and every article that is given there, and see what the author is trying to say. Pick out main arguments that the author is making, and try to give a contrary view to that. Understand what can be the assumption behind those arguments that the author may be relying on, or you know think of things that can, your own reasoning or statements that can go in support with what the author is saying, or the statements, not or rather and the statements that go against the view of the author. So these sort of statements you need to create. So maybe you can sit down with a register or something and get down to these things, right? These will be your sources for your critical reasoning. And believe me, this will be a lot, and it's surely going to help you in understanding how to go about these questions. So I hope, people, you are clear with the critical reasoning as of now. Let me know ek bar, that you're understanding what I'm saying. So now let's move on to English. In English, what will be there? There'll be questions asking you what is the most accurate phrase, or what is the word that most accurately describes. Some vocabulary check is there. Then, which of the following best explains? So a statement will be given, and you will be asked which of the following best explains this statement, right? Then there will be argument based accuracy. You will be given certain arguments, and you have to see which one is the most accurate with what the author is saying, what is the main idea behind the passage. This you have to understand very well. Then some inference based questions. Now you can put this under English also and under critical reasoning also, so it's a mix sort of a thing. Very many inference based questions are asked. All right, good. Mansi is clear with what is being told, right? Inference based questions can be very many. So as I said, since you will be doing this exercise above, when you will do this exercise above, inference will become clear to you, that what is the author trying to infer from any statement that he's making. And grammar based questions like spelling check can be asked, or your tenses can be checked. They'll pick out a statement and they will say that it is grammatically incorrect, then you need to correct that statement. Now, how will we do English? English can be done through the newspaper, definitely, because it will help you with your vocabulary section also, and it sort of improves your fluency. So here we are not focusing on spoken English, we are focusing on written English. So written English is the one that needs to be worked upon. You can study rules and techniques if you're weak at them. Practice a lot of reading comprehension questions. Many questions will be there online. If you do not have anything, just pick up any competitive examination ka paper, and there'll be RCs in every, mostly reading comprehension are asked in every competitive examination, even for your pick up DULLB, MHCET, NLSAT is already there, BHU. In all these question papers there will be RCs, you practice from there. uh, I personally feel that English part is a little easy. So this you should be able to tackle, because even if these vocabulary questions are to be seen, they are the ones wherein this word, if it has been picked from the passage, from the lines that are given before this word or after this word, you can make an inference that okay, what would this actually mean? Even if you don't know the real meaning, you can derive it from the passage itself. So this can be done. It's not that tough. Then current affairs, I understand that current affairs is a lot for everyone to tackle with. Now, these are the areas wherein the questions have been asked in the past. Now, what you do is that all these topics you need to cover. But how are you going to do this? I would say do not make notes out of newspaper. I always say this, that opt for ready-made notes, compendiums, whatever you find on current affairs, whichever is suitable to you, find it and do your current affairs from there. Current affairs is not to be done through books, because books are given on year to year basis. I would rather encourage you to use online uh, compilations, because those are much better than any of the books or your newspaper notes, right? Current affairs is very factual, it is repetitive. So what are you supposed to do? You have to do a lot of revision. So I would say that when you're doing your answer writing daily, do this part also daily. Make mnemonics around it, create stories, and maybe through that you can understand or remember things. No notes from the newspaper, use the newspaper for editorial section. And yes, do not forget legal current affairs, because legal current affairs is something that is asked in this examination, and many questions do come from this part as well. So do not ignore legal current affairs. We keep covering. We have current affairs roundup videos also on our channel, even for legal current affairs, wherein important judgments have been covered. Whatever important legal update comes, we post it on Instagram and YouTube community post. Go through those things. I would say that if you're preparing for 24 examination, 23 se start karke, scroll back and read ek bar whatever news items have come in, so that you are aware as to what is happening, even if you are not enrolled for the module, or you don't have anything else to cover these areas from. I wouldn't say that that would be sufficient for legal current affairs. Yes, a lot of things are there. Current affairs is too vast, and it is not possible to cover it in videos on YouTube. So for that, I would say that compilation is better. Then let's move on to Emily, editorial of any newspaper, Hindu, Indian Express, anything would do. Pick those up. You can also pick up novels, books, wherein you see some person is, giving their viewpoint about any particular topic, any article, blogs. Blogs are a very good source, because in now don't pick up those blogs which are very simple to read. They have to be a little high on the language. So pick up those blogs, because blogs are very personal and people give their views there. Blogs will help you. Uh, all right. One question that is flashing again. Law student is able to wear a black dress code once you become a lawyer, once you give the AIB examination. As a student, you wear it in your internships. Then let's move on to part B. Part B may starting with case studies. Case studies may, you know that there is no amount of fixed questions. So इसका कोई analysis भी नहीं हो सकता है. There are no fixed questions or syllabus or what are you supposed to study. Nothing is fixed as such. A situation is given. That situation can be from anywhere. Anything can be given based on any hypothetical law. So in that case, what you have to do is whatever case study you are practicing, once you read the question, you have to internalize the situation until and unless you feel the situation. This I told in one of my live sessions also, we had for the essay for the enrolled students, that it is very important that you internalize the situation whatever is given to you, that you know something like this, what if it has happened with you, what will be your arguments, how will your mind work. So you will come up for certain defenses for your own self also, right? Now you have to put yourself in the same shoes when you are addressing these questions. By doing that, you will be able to come up with better reasoning and you will be able to answer questions better. Remember to feel as if you know you are the aggrieved party in the situation and you have to present yourself in the court. So what arguments you are going to take, so practice here will be the key, because for case studies, as I said, there's nothing fixed. But if you practice well, every day you are doing answer writing, you're writing a lot of questions, and every day your mind will start working in such a direction that you'll be able to come up with a lot of arguments, with a lot of reasoning. So practice here will be the key to success. In order to practice, what I would say is that there are no specific books for NLSAT giving you case studies like that. How will you do it then? Either self help or through coaching. Now, in self, what you can do is past year papers, you can see what have been the questions there. You can analyze those, you can write for those, pick up the sample papers. Unki website pe bhi they've given sample papers. 24 sample papers haven't been released yet because they are still in the process of filling the forms, and I don't know when do they plan to release the papers. So that is one situation. I've also, you know, on YouTube discussed the sample papers of 2023, which might not be visible to you because on their website they've given 22 ka papers. So you can see those videos, analyze those. There are certain sessions of mine under the NLSAT playlist. Practice with me sessions are there. Certain questions I've picked up and I've discussed. So you can practice from there. Some students, what they like to do is that they pick up flat legal reasoning questions. However, they're you know, not exactly matching up to what comes in the examination. However, you can use them just for supplementary purpose. They'll be short. Flat questions will be short. In the examination, you will have a whole factual situation that is there. You can use this and write down the answer, because these are all MCQ based questions. So in that case, you have to do that working, that you know you have to write down the whole answer for that, and there'll be nothing visible to you in order to match with it. One thing, keep in mind very strictly that they do not expect you to have any prior knowledge of law for these questions. So, in case you're studying for MHCT examination or PULLB, wherein you're studying the law, or you're studying constitution for CUATPG, then for that, whatever you studied, you do not cite it here. Now, for example, sometimes what happens is that the question is such that we feel uh, fundamental rights are something that everybody knows. So it is irrespective of whether we've studied the law or not. So if in the question you feel that, okay, my fundamental right can be invoked here, fundamental right of privacy or speech, freedom, expression, movement, anything you feel, those things maybe you can use in your answers, but do not put in article numbers or anything like that, right? Then moving on to the essay part. In the essay, many students keep asking me what are the essay topics. Uh, for this, I would say that pick up the most debatable topics that you must be seeing online. You will find them on Google as well. Pick up debatable topics and start writing. In the newspaper also, if you see a header, try to formulate an essay topic for you. Take help uh, from people who are around you in your house. If you know there's someone who can help and create an essay topic around it. Essays are already for essays also we have YouTube videos wherein we've shown you that how these essays are to be written, what kind of questions have been asked in the past, sample papers have been discussed, so you will get an idea ki what kind of questions do come in essays. Current affairs is not to be checked. They will check your analytical reasoning, that are you able to reason the debate out or not, you have strong points. So you have to obviously talk from one side predominantly. However, at the same time, you have to talk from both the sides. We had discussed it in the live session we had for enrolled students in the um, for the essay, wherein I had told you guys that whatever topic it is, first you will give an introduction, then you will give your own arguments, then you will talk about the arguments from the other side, what can be the arguments from the other side, and how can these arguments be refuted. You will give your reasoning also at the same time. Now this does not has to exceed the arguments that are given here. Sum it up in one paragraph and then give a solution, come to conclusion, because on their website they have said that they expect you to come with a solution, a creative solution. So your essay needs to be in a proper flow. It has to be organized. Do not randomly, whatever thought is coming out, do not blurt it out on the paper. You have to maintain the flow of your essay. Now, let me just address certain queries that have been asked. For current affairs, Devi, I've given the topics above, that how are you supposed to, go about current affairs, the topics, national news, international sports, awards, books and authors is very important for these examinations. Questions come from these areas. Then essay should be analytical, yes. Factual nahi hona chahiye essay. Do not get facts in the essay because they don't expect to see what current affairs knowledge do you have on the issue. They expect you to come out with good arguments that you have in hand for the topic that is mentioned. uh, पप्पू पंडित, आई डोंट थिंक 20 या 30 के स्कोर में कोई कॉलेज मिल सकता है कि नहीं. आई थिंक एटलीस्ट 50 मार्क्स यू शुड हैव. Then now for timing, guys, since you have to time this exam well, right? So for timing, I would say that there are 75 questions in part A, and you have 6 plus 1, 7 questions here. So this itself, it's going to take 1 hour or can take 1 hour 15 minutes as well. राइट एंड यहाँ पे हमारा राइटिंग है, सब्जेक्टिव है. यहाँ पर क्या है, एमसीक्यू है, तो वी हैव टू टिक. हाउएवर एट द सेम टाइम it is not about if you've mucked up topics and you know the answer and वो 5 seconds में हो जाता है. That is not possible here because it's based on critical reasoning and things like these. Current affairs questions, yes, you may be able to do it within a span of 5 to 10 seconds. However, the critical reasoning questions, legal reasoning questions, English KGB, inference based questions, they are going to take time. You can expect 8 passages with approximately 10 questions. 9 to 10 questions will be asked, right? So if we go by this thing that for every there are 10 questions, and we are giving say 2 3 minutes per question, then you have to see कि पूरे 8 passages करने हैं, we have approximately 80 questions, और अगर हम 2 मिनट दे रहे हैं, हम 160, इतना टाइम लग रहा है. These many minutes we are spending on these questions which we don't have actually, right? We have 150 minutes in hand, उसमें से मान लो 75 part B में चले गए, we only have 75 minutes here. So we have to give 1 minute per question. For the current affair question, the part can be adjusted towards the other one. Like critical reasoning में आपने मान लीजिए you've given 1.5 minutes, and zero point 0.5 आपने you've used for English and current affairs. So that's how the distribution will be. You have to be very careful with the timing, because I've seen students losing out their marks in this examination just because of the timing, not because they're not well prepared, but because of the timing issue. So be very careful with the timing. Uh, Mansi, that's very open-ended that NLSAT application can be rejected for any reason. What can be the reason as per you that you think that it can be rejected? Please specify that. Uh, then 3005 logs. The course is for 14,100 if you will see. And I understand that you've mentioned that you might not be able to pay. Although what we have done is our modules are very much lesser than what it is actually capable of. So I would say that you can probably reach out to us on WhatsApp, explain your situation. Maybe they're going to ask you for certain proofs. You can furnish that and let us see what we can do the best. Uh, then Mansi, yeah, you can do that for current affairs if you want, but be careful. Do not, in the flow, do not keep reading the news that is not meant for you, because for UPSC, the news is very exhaustive. So you have to exercise your wisdom there. Then, yes, Rajni, we do preparation for PU LLB examination also. We do come out with test series also for that examination. We're still waiting for their application forms to start. Policy aptitude and legal aptitude, Vanshika, I don't think, I think you're talking about the MPP program. In the NLSAT question, we do not have anything known as policy aptitude. Emily, it's very subjective that how many questions will you practice in a day. That really depends on your aptitude and understanding and capability. So you can see that how you want to go about it. How many questions do you want to, you have the time to devote. Uh, Shweksha, with college, maybe, you can devote 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, and practice questions. For you, I would say if, with college, it's becoming difficult and you don't have time for understanding the things, then you go with practicing. Start with practicing questions. Yes, Shreya, you can skip defense. That's okay. Then, Vinayak, essay topic key list has been added to the module. Uh, or otherwise, what you can do is you can also Google it up. Burning current affairs issues and debatable topics, things like these, you can put in and you can see what topics are coming up. Uh, One semester mark sheet, Mansi, you uploaded. Okay, now, for people who are worried about the NLSAT form and documents, I would say that they've given you time up till 31st of December. When you're going to give the examination for the admit card, they do not check your documents. I myself have been, giving this examination for some time now, just, to get you questions. But At the same time, um, what I do is I upload any random document, and never has the application been rejected. So that is what I'm trying to tell you, that for the admit card purpose, it is not that you will be stopped from giving the examination. You can upload any random document. Do not worry about documents as of now. I wouldn't say that you upload random documents, but at the same time, even if they're incomplete, that's okay. You have time till 31st of December. Focus on your examination right now. Ignore the form anxiety as of now. Just fill the form properly. See you filling in the correct information. If documents are incomplete, that can be sorted out later. There are no issues with that. Rajni, you can WhatsApp us if you want to, understand about the PU LLB. Otherwise, एक लॉ एग्जाम कोर्स करके है, आप वो देख सकते हो. दैट्स फॉर ऑल 3 year LLB examinations. This one, wherein your CUET PG, MHCET, PU LLB, all these IIT KGP, all these get covered, and everything is covered here for whatever exam out of these you are preparing for. Then Sridevi, for NLS, I would say firstly, it's a national law school. It's the top-notch law school in the country. There's a limited batch of 120 students. So placements, exposure, academics, all these things are very good here. Faculty is very good. So I would say that those are the privileges of studying in this college. There's a whole branding and legacy that is coming with the name NLS. Then this examination happens offline, Venkat. Yes, Ritika, NLSAT mocks have been released. You can check on the website as I mentioned. They are there on the website under the test series section. Here you will see the NLSAT test series are there. There are 5 tests here. Now, solutions are all given. Your part B gets evaluated. So, once you give the test and you submit पार्ट बी के क्वेश्चंस जो हैं एंड द essay, that gets evaluated by me and you get a feedback, and the timer keeps running in the mock, so you are able to time your preparation well as well. Then yes, it's a pen paper based examination. Safe score, Nabumita, for general category, I would say is 105 plus, because as per what I've seen from the mark sheets of my students, I've seen that, people who have secured 50 plus in part A and part B both, they have a better chance in of getting into the college. Yes, definitely people have gotten at 97, 98 as well, but उसमें भी ये है कि people have had the quota that's present, and that helped them at that score of 97. So I would say, uh, always aim for a very high score, because if you keep your aim high, only then you will be able to achieve something that's close to that aim. Then, great, Mansi, you're relieved. Uh, Mansi, YouTube videos on essay are already there. You can check. I've covered analytical reasoning essays, and it's already present in under the NLSAT playlist. So you can check those videos to understand the essay. Yes, it is a written paper, Harsifat. It's a pen paper based examination. Here, if you guys have any questions, ये MCQ में भी बहुत चीजें covered है. You can see it on their website that it's an offline paper based examination, and the list of centers जो है वो आपके application form में आपको दिखेगी. So whatever queries, main queries that you are having about the examination, I think those can be addressed through this section. एक बार मैं आपको ये और चीज बता देती हूँ. नाउ फॉर द एग्जामिनेशन, what are the things that you need to keep in mind? as we discussed, timing is very important. You have to keep the time in mind, because as I said, many people lose out because of the timing. So you have to maintain your timing. As per the mocks you give, you will get an idea that how much time do you take for each question, for answer writing. Everybody will have their own specific timer. You have to align it with what is required in the examination. 150 minutes, so 75 अगर हम distribute कर रहे हैं, I would say that, try to reduce the time here. Maybe, you can reduce 5-10 minutes here. Let's reduce it to 65, because now the number of questions have reduced. पहले लोग इसमें 10 questions आते थे, वो भी कर लेते थे in 75 minutes. So I would say that you can try and get it down to 60-65 minutes में खत्म करो part B, and then you get additional 15 minutes here, and so you have 90 minutes here. Because sometimes, critical reasoning and these things become very confusing, and then again you have to read the passage, understand what can be the answer. So try to save on your time here so that you cover up here. Then I would say word limit को ध्यान में रखो. For part B, the word limit for your case studies is 300 to 350 words. For the essay, it is 500 words. So even if you're not able to meet this, because many people face a problem with the case studies, I would say 275 words is good. Now, this is coming from NLS itself. In the information session, the professor had mentioned that at least try to write for 275 words, and it's good. Your arguments should make sense. That is what is important for those people, that your arguments are making sense. Then आई वुड से मॉक्स बिल्कुल भी स्किप नहीं करने हैं. मॉक्स की प्रैक्टिस, मॉक्स से बहुत अच्छी प्रैक्टिस हो जाएगी. यू विल बी एबल टू टाइम थिंग्स वेल. योर आंसर्स do get evaluated. I don't know about other platforms. We evaluate them. We also provide you with explanations. Like in the module, you guys must have seen that, we have given you a solution for part B case studies. What can be the arguments for? What can be the arguments that can be against? So those things are present. Then also, I would say that do not feel worried as to the preponement of the examination. I understand that many students, we ourselves, were expecting the examination to happen towards the last week of April, and it got preponed to March, which is very disappointing for everyone, I know. However, as I said in the beginning, I'll say it again, 2 months are enough for this examination. You can prepare in 2 months, because this examination is not about rote learning, it is about practicing questions and writing things down. Admit cards, Mansi, they're going to release it a week or 2 weeks before the examination. uh, Banking centers, Venkat, just make sure that, the current affairs topics that we had discussed, you stick to these only, because a lot of schemes and all those things and agriculture and banking related news might be there, so you have to skip out on those. So you have to exercise your wisdom in these things. Then last date of application form, NLS application form is, I think, mentioned here on their website somewhere, that they'd given 24th of February or 31st of January, I don't remember. So you can check on their website, they've already given it here. Last date is, see, 24th Feb they've given, 24th Feb for submitting the application and application fees. Session for NLS 2024, I don't understand, what does it mean? You mean the academic session or what? Papu, I had already addressed this query that 2030 mein it's difficult to get a college. Uh, How many sheets to fill in 500 words? Uh, See, every that varies from people to people. Everybody has a different sort of handwriting, and uh, the space their writing occupies. So that you have to see that ideally, if you're writing 10 words in a line, so you need to have 50 lines at least. Now those 50 lines, that depends on how broad your handwriting is. So it's not about pages, it's more about the words in each line. So ये सब जब आप you're working or you're preparing, see these things down for yourself so that you can understand. uh, NLU is any day better. First year GLC aspirin, I can't clearly understand what you are trying to say. First year or to complete BA and join, I don't really understand what you're trying to say. एक बार comment में डाल दो या तो video में, and I'll get back to you. Information session for NLSAT, they conducted on their own website. So normally people who have applied and enrolled, you it's not necessary that they might have it this year. However, it's very subjective. It depends on them. If they will have it, they have it very close to the examination. So it's very very annoying that it takes a lot of time. One information session is already available on their website that has been conducted in the past, so you can check that. Overview में जब आप जाओगे, ये watch this video which speaks about the information session. I've also summed up this video in my YouTube video, and I've told you certain things, so you can check that. Then examination happens in different cities. These cities are intimated to you while you're filling your application. You get a list there. लक्ष्मी प्रैक्टिसिंग से भी नहीं हो रहा है तो मे बी you can take help somewhere and understand where is it that you're going wrong. uh, Indian newspapers are not accessible, so you can probably there are online subscriptions as well, so you can use those. Hindu वगैरह का you have online subscription, uh, so you can resort to that. If you're enrolled for the module, then you don't really need to get into the editorials, because we cover a lot of things. There's enough covered. 85 case studies and a lot of passages are there. Mocks may you have a lot of questions that have been given for practice, so that's ample amount of practice that you're having already. uh, Lakshmi, it's very unexpected till when they'll come out with the sample papers. I'd written an email also to them. However, they just responded that you can apply, and people who have applied, they will get to see the sample papers soon. Sharia, I think you're talking about SUET PG, for which you're doing self study. So I have a video of SUET PG preparation as well. We did a live session on that as well. Uh, so maybe you can check. I did yesterday only. People who are preparing for multiple exams, I had covered a video wherein I had spoken about SUET PG and MHSET, how to prepare for these examinations together. Guys, if you're preparing for multiple exams, you can watch that video. Okay, GLC, yeah, I think if you already taken two drops, then better to do 3 year LLB rather than going for CLAT, because it's not wise to waste 2 years behind one particular exam. Muscle Hacker, I already addressed this query that it does not depend on the sheets, it depends on your handwriting as well. So, average out the number of words that you are writing in one particular sentence and then see how many lines you have on a paper. So, if 10 sentences in one line, then 50 lines in total makes your 500 words. So, that you have to see on the basis of your handwriting. that how much space do you occupy. So I think I've addressed the queries that I've come up to the screen up till now. So guys, I hope you are clear now with the preparation. uh, I would just, to motivate you guys, I really want to say that don't worry about the examination, that so much is happening in the month of March. I understand CET, MHCET, NLSAT, everything is lined up in March. But in a way, it's good also that it'll keep you on your toes, and up sari preparation you'll be doing together, so you don't have to revise for different exams at separate point of time. Figure out the common areas, revise those. For CUET, PG, MHCT, a lot of rote learning is required. So do those things, keep revising those things daily. If you're preparing for NLSAT also, practice, just practice every day to answer writing. Pick up a passage and practice. Pick up an editorial, or if you're enrolled for the module, then you're already getting a lot of passages and case studies to practice. So just get down to writing these things every day. And yeah, so just create those debates in your head, that what the author is trying to say, what do you feel about the issue. Understand the when you it's very normal for a person to be a good listener. This is what an LSAT examination requires. So you have to, instead of being a listener, you have to be a good reader. So be empathetic, understand. If anything is given, understand basically what is the opinion of the person that I'm talking to. So imagine that for 150 minutes you are into a dialogue with someone, right? And don't think that it is an examiner, or your career is based on this. Forget all that. Consider as if वो annoying relatives होते हैं ना सबके. So consider as if you're sitting with your relatives, you are having a debate on a topic. At some stages, for some points you will agree with them, for some points you will not agree with them. If you do not agree with them, uh, when it comes to part B, you can voice those opinions out. When it comes to passage, you can be empathetic, understand what the person is trying to say, and come to a conclusion and understanding what is the choice that you need to make out of the given questions, that this person is trying to imply this, or this can go against what this person is saying. So basically, it's very, very, basic. An LSAT examination is very basic. If you can rule that exam fear out in your head, it can be done very easily. Jindal is very good, yes, I would say. Abhishek, Jindal is also as good as DU. I think in some respects is better in the terms of exposure and placements, yes. Although NLS is a government college, Jindal is a private college, so at the same time NLS holds a lot of value and branding to it. uh, GLC, नो, लीगल ड्राफ्टिंग का जो कोर्स है, द कोर्स ड्राफ्टिंग कोर्स, that does not give you a certificate. It's not a certificate course. It is basically to help you when you get down to your internships. There are students who go to internships and you're given notices to draft, or you're given research to draft. So if you know the basics, you are able to deliver well. So those basics are taught in this course, and we've explained you how to go about legal research. When you have that screen in front of you, how are you supposed to word your arguments, how you're supposed to write them, if you want to convey something, how, what are the words that you will use, how are you going to write it, how do you create that research, how do you go through the file, all these things, these basics, which I don't think people teach at any law firm or at any law school. These things are not taught. This is something which you learn on the job. So that process has been eased out, and in the course those things have been explained to you. uh, yes, it is available, it will be uploaded, it's there on YouTube, so the stream will be available on YouTube. So do not worry. For judicial service examination, you can check our playlist. We've done analysis video of the past year papers. You can check that. It's wise to take 5 year LLB then 3 year LLB. That happens when you are in grade 12th and you are very clear that I have to do law itself. There are certain people who are not very clear, they want to explore more. So you do your graduation. I'm taking up Sri Devi's doubt. So you do your graduation and then you do your 3 year LLB, right? So that's a personal choice to make. Uh, the only thing is that save up on your 1 year, because after 12th सीधा 5 year LLB करते हो, so your 1 year gets saved as compared to 3 year LLB. Then landmark judgments, Shreya, it's not necessary that you remember all the important names. See, in the legal current affairs section, there'll be many cases that we've given to you. What you have to do is you have to go through each case, even if you don't know the title, understand what is the factual situation. They're not very tough. एक बार एक reading दोगे, you will get to know that okay, this was the situation and the court observed this. That is it. And go ahead. I wouldn't say that only December ka landmark judgment will be sufficient, right? So there are a lot of judgments throughout the year, and it's not just that they're going to ask from December only. They're going to ask you for other months as well. So do it monthly. MA and LLB at the same time you can, provided your MA is from a regular from distance, because with LLB you cannot do any other regular course, and LLB has to be regular as per the BCI guidelines. You cannot do LLB from distance, that is not recognized. So guys, I hope your doubts are clear. uh, our WhatsApp number has been provided to you in the chat. In case any of you have any more questions as to the test series, or like there were certain students whom I had told that you can reach out to us privately, so you can let us know. और कोई generic doubt है comments में, you can leave it. And further you can visit the website for the module, for the test series, if you want to enroll. And all the very best guys. I would again say that don't worry, prepone हो गया है, कोई बात नहीं. हम basically understand, we are trying to understand what our relatives are saying. We are trying to decode that. We are trying to disagree with that, and agree with those things at the same point. ये बात keep in your head when you are going to the examination hall in those 150 minutes. Keep these things in head. And I don't think there should be a lot of fear around this examination if you've practiced well. Books are, Abhishek, I've already suggested the books and notes in the video session that was conducted. एक बार watch the session and get to those books. Mostly, for NLSAT, there are no books as such. There are different sources that you can look up to. For English, just look at the editorial section. Critical reasoning के लिए भी editorial section. Newspapers में novels हैं, articles हैं, blogs हैं. Read those. Try to understand the tone of the author. GMAT critical reasoning book you can use. There are very many videos in our NLSAT playlist, and trust me, they're very important, and you'll get to understand a lot of things there. YouTube pay, it's available free of charge. You can watch those videos. Then if you want external help, then you can check our website for the modules. And for case studies and essay writing, certain sessions have been conducted on YouTube to explain you how to go about them. You can watch those. All right. Welcome, Shreya. All the very best to all of you. And I hope that now you can feel a little focused and you are a little clear in head how to go about in the next 2 months for the examination. All the very best. I'm going to catch you guys up again and try to calm down the jitters that you guys must be having. And it was a great session. There were so many doubts. I'm so glad that I was able to address all these doubts that were coming up in your heads. I hope if there are any further doubts, you can leave down the same in the comment box below, and I'll get back to you. Yeah, all right, Abhishek, Jai Shri Ram, and everybody else, uh, uh, just make sure that you are practicing well up till March. Abhi you have 2 months. Just practice well, and you will be able to fare well in this examination. All right, guys. I'll end the live session now. All the very best.